Hello everyone, welcome to Sonia IAS. Guys, today we are in the series of mains article discussion and we are going to discuss about one of the most debated topics this year, which is Uniform Civil Code. So, this program is going to help you with your mains preparation. So if you look at a topic for your mains preparation, say for example Uniform Civil Code, and if you're asked any sort of a question, you should not take a stand that yes, Uniform Civil Code should be enforced or should not be enforced. Instead, you're supposed to take a balanced stand. You're supposed to talk about the difficulties in implementation, a way forward, certain examples, and in this video we are going to cover all of that for you. तो इस वीडियो के अंदर हम सबसे पहले समझेंगे कि यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड ये मतलब क्या होता है, समान आचार संहिता इसका मतलब क्या होता है, एंड देन वी विल लुक एट पॉजिटिव्स, नेगेटिव्स और इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने में क्या क्या दिक्कत आ रही है, इसको कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करा जाए तो इफ़ेक्टिव होगा, और बाकी सारी चीज़ें काफ़ी केसेस भी देखेंगे एग्जाम्पल्स के तौर पर कि क्यों ये चीज़ ज़रूरी है और ये क्यों डिबेटेबल है इन टुडेज़ एरा. सो लेट अस स्टार्ट विथ द फर्स्ट थिंग कि भाई ये यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड होता क्या है. व्हाट इज यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड? या व्हाट इज दिस यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड? As you know, in our country there are people of different religions. We all follow different religions and we all have different laws for marriage, divorce, custody, adoption, etc., etc. Those are known as personal laws. Now this Uniform Civil Code means that there is no personal law in these matters and there will be one uniform law, one common law by which everyone will be given justice, है ना? So let us understand first of all the constitutional provision. What does the constitution say about this? Now in the part 4 of our constitution, in the part 4 of our constitution जहाँ पे DPSPs है, Directive Principles of State Policies, Uniform Civil Code आर्टिकल नंबर 44 में एंश्राइन करा गया है, वेर इट सेज दैट इट शेल बी द एंडेवर ऑफ द स्टेट टू प्रोवाइड अ यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड थ्रू आउट द टेरिटरी ऑफ इंडिया. नाउ ये DPSP क्या है एंड वाई आर वी टॉकिंग अबाउट इट? DPSPs are those principles which are like a wish list of the creators of the constitution. ये एक ऐसा लिस्ट है कि जब हमें आज़ादी मिली थी, at that time the social and economical conditions were not ripe to implement certain provisions and the makers of the constitution, they had made a list, and as and when we are getting the chance socially or economically, we are giving a constitutional form to lot of these provisions. Say for example article number 40 पंचायत के रिलेटेड था, एंड बाय द 93rd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट वी गेव पंचायत्स द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल स्टेटस इट वॉज सपोज टू गेट, दैट वॉज एनविजन्ड. ऑल्सो प्रोवाइडिंग एजुकेशन टू द चिल्ड्रन बिटवीन 6 to 14, और ऐसे कई सारे लॉज है विच ड्रॉ इंस्पिरेशन फ्रॉम DPSPs. सो DPSPs आर अ गाइडिंग लाइट फॉर द गवर्नमेंट कि उनको क्या करना है. Okay, and majority of the times it is said that the success of a government is determined by how many DPSPs they are bringing as law or constitutional amendment. The success of the government is measured by the implementation of DPSPs in way of law or constitutional amendments. सो यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड जो है आई होप आप सबको समझ में आ गया है, एंड नाउ वी विल सी दैट डू यू थिंक दैट दिस शुड हैपन. Say for example someone is a Christian, someone is a Hindu, someone is a Muslim. Now they all have different customs for them to get married, to get divorced, for adoption and for other things. Now is it fair to have one common law जो सबके ऊपर एक ही समान लागू करेगा, है ना? दिस इज़ अ वेरी डिबेटेबल क्वेश्चन एंड द गवर्नमेंट वॉन्ट्स टू इम्प्लीमेंट इट. इट इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ the DPSP also. तो चलो देखते हैं स्टेप बाय स्टेप। सबसे पहले वी विल लुक एट द आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इन फेवर। There is a lot of hue and cry that yes, it should be established. Now guys, whenever you're writing any of your answers for mains, you will have to understand that wherever possible you are supposed to break down the topic, okay, into segments. Now when we talk about the Uniform Civil Code, so when we talk about the arguments in favor, we will talk about the social reasons, the political reasons, the legal reasons and the economical reasons. That how is this one law, having a common law for every citizen, going to be helpful in different areas of one person's life, है ना? This is very important, otherwise what will happen is in your mains examination you will end up writing everything about just the social parameters and you will miss everything else. So let's discuss why is it socially important, है ना? Now we all know that India is a secular country. Secularism means that there is a line between the state and the religion, and everyone, people of different religions are treated in the same way. But हमारे यहाँ पे ये पर्सनल लॉज है सबके, जैसे कि हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट, शरीयत लॉ एंड एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा अदर लॉज. सो उससे क्या होता है दैट पीपल आर नॉट गिवन जस्टिस based on a uniform law. Rather, a person belonging from one community has different rights and another one has different rights. For example, ले लीजिए Muslim men, they have the permission to follow polygamy. They can marry 4 women at the same time. But if a Hindu person will do that, तो क्या होगा? That person will have to go to jail because the Hindu Marriage Act does not permit it. ठीक है. So to establish a secular society wherein everyone is treated by a common law, uniform civil code is very important. Now the nature of Indian society, जैसे कि हमने बात किया, we are a multi-religious society and this is causing lot of problems in the judiciary. If we have a uniform civil code, then there will be lot of equality between people. Now gender parity, what do we mean when we talk about gender parity? Gender parity means that a Muslim woman and a Muslim man, they don't have equal rights, है ना? कैसे? There is something called triple talaq, talaq-e-biddat, which is declared unconstitutional now, but it existed a long time ago as well, till now. बहुत सालों से चल रहा था ये. In that, a Muslim man can tell a woman 3 times talaq, 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 and they will be divorced. But the Muslim women will not have the same right to do that. So bringing uniform civil code will bring about lot of gender parity. जहाँ पे भी पर्सनल लॉज में पैट्रियार्की दिख रही है या जेंडर पैरिटी नहीं है, वहाँ पे ये यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड लाने से हमें एक जेंडर पैरिटी मिल जाएगी. ओके. यंग पीपल्स एस्पिरेशंस. What do we mean by young people's aspirations? So guys, 55% of our country's population is below the age group of 25 years. And all these young people, they have a modern thought. They want equality in the society. And this young generation resonates very well with a uniform civil code which will be applicable to everyone. Okay? Now to counter communalism. Now, lot of times these personal laws cause a strife between people, and India is a country with a huge communal history. ठीक है? We are getting this. Now, let us talk about the political pointers. है ना? Now, when we are talking about upholds the rights. So, article number 14 to 18 gives what? Right to equality. So, equality amongst the genders. Also equality between a Hindu woman and a Muslim woman will be here if we have uniform civil code. दोनों के पास equal rights आ जाएंगे, है ना? In terms of divorce, in terms of maintenance after divorce and other things. अब बात करते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मैंडेट की. हमने पहले ही बोला है कि ये हमारे आर्टिकल नंबर 44 में एनश्राइंड है, जो कि DPSP का पार्ट है. So now when it is a part of DPSP, it is a state's duty to make policies to fulfill this article. So yes, enforcing a uniform civil code will strengthen the constitutional mandate. Now national integration. Our nation is divided in religions, amongst religions, and during elections we can see this divide very wide, because you know a lot of politicians, they play vote bank politics. और क्या करते हैं, हर कोई पॉलिटिशियन जो है मोस्टली दे बैंक ऑन सर्टेन यू नो कम्युनिटी, ऑन सम रिलीजियस पीपल, एंड उनको बोल के यू नो उनको ज़्यादा थोड़ा एंटाइस करके दैट वी विल गिव यू दिस राइट टू योर कम्युनिटी, वी विल डू दिस फॉर योर कम्युनिटी, एंड उनसे वोट्स ले लेते हैं. So it is somewhere dividing the country on religious lines because there is no common law. But if there is a common law, then we will be going towards national integration also. Like the framers of the constitution went for single citizenship, है ना. USA में क्या होता है, dual citizenship होता है. हमारे कंट्री में सिंगल सिटीजनशिप है. क्यों? So that all the citizens they feel that they are a part of the same country. There is a feeling of oneness. We also have equal right to vote, universal adult franchise. वहाँ से भी one sort of equality and a feeling of brotherhood emanates कि भाई हर एक को वोट करने का अधिकार है और हर एक इंसान जो है उसके वोट का वैल्यू जो है, मूल्य जो है वो सेम रहेगा. सो समवेयर एक कॉमन लॉ, पर्सनल स्पेस में एक कॉमन लॉ ले आने से वी विल बी मूविंग टॉवर्ड्स नेशनल इंटीग्रेशन. ओके, अब देखते हैं इसका लीगली क्या बेनिफिट होगा अगर हम एक यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड एनफोर्स कर देते हैं. सो हियर अभी कोर्ट में वी नो दैट 5 करोड़ केसेस आर पेंडिंग, एंड जब हम पर्सनल लॉज की बात करते हैं देन डिवोर्स या यू नो कस्टडी या मेंटेनेंस वाले जो केसेस होते हैं या मैरिज ऑल्सो, उसमें क्या होता है कि the courts have to try every person differently based on their religion. So अगर एक ही लॉ होगा, कॉमन लॉ होगा, तो ये कोर्ट्स के लिए भी आसान होगा to try people by one common law and not by various personal laws. ठीक है guys? अब simplification of laws. Yes, instead of having multiple laws and you know looking at multiple laws from multiple angles with changing dynamics, जैसे जैसे ज़माना चेंज हो रहा है, lot of people want changes in their own personal law. तो हर एक रिलीजन के लॉ को चेंज करने की जगह अगर एक ही लॉ है तो वी कैन मेक इट मोर जनरलाइज्ड, मोर इंक्लूसिव, एंड वी कैन जस्ट मेक चेंजेस टू वन लॉ. जुडिशियल ऑर्डर्स. ऑल्सो जुडिशरी has several times directed the legislature to enact a uniform civil code. Now this the first time it directed was in 1985, was in Shah Bano case. Okay, we will look at the cases and the precedents in this class itself. Last component होगा इस class का, so stay tuned till the end. Now economical. एक secular economic policy बना पाएंगे if we have a common law, and there will also be equality of opportunity. This equality of opportunity is also enshrined in our preamble. So somewhere this uniform civil code, if it becomes a reality, if it is actually enforced, then a lot of ease will happen. You know, it will come in the lives of individuals. It will come for the system, the judiciary के लिए हो जाएगा, ease हो जाएगा for the people living in India. There will be a lot of brotherhood and a feeling of oneness. National integration की तरफ जाएंगे, individuals को भी opportunities ज़्यादा मिलेगी, and एक equality भी हमको समाज में देखने को मिल जाएगी. So whenever you have a question on uniform civil code, you should write the answer like this कि भाई हाँ क्यों होना चाहिए एक uniform civil code. नाउ लाइक एवरी कॉइन हैज़ टू साइड, है ना, हर सिक्के के दो पहलू होते हैं. तो नाउ लेट अस लुक एट कि क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए. लॉट ऑफ यू वुड बी थिंकिंग दैट नहीं, ये नहीं होना चाहिए. सो लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड कि भाई क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए. सबसे पहले तो हम सोशल रीजंस देखेंगे. सोशल रीजंस बिकॉज दिस इज़ समथिंग पर्सनल, हमारा जो सोसाइटी है it is made of people of different religions and their culture and their customs are what makes them what they are. So सबसे पहले तो इसके social implications देखते हैं. Communal violence हो सकता है. How? Say for example बहुत सारे religions है. Now will one community accept the laws of another religion? नहीं, debatable है. Say for example, let us take three communities, the Hindus, the Muslims and the Christians. Will the Hindus be ready to be wedded based on the Christian guidelines? Will the Muslims be agreeing to be wedded, to be divorced on the Muslim law guidelines? So the huge point is that enforcing one common law might result into communal violence. अब क्या है कि ये इंटरपर्सनल मैटर्स में इंटरफियर करेगा. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एम अ हिंदू एंड आई वैल्यू माई कस्टम्स वेरी मच, है ना. एवरी वन ऑफ अस, वॉट एवर योर रिलीजन इज, यू वैल्यू योर कस्टम्स वेरी मच बिकॉज दैट इज हाउ यू हैव ग्रोन अप. So somewhere you will feel that the state is interfering in your personal space and it is an infringement of your fundamental right. ये जाएगा political angle में. But socially also you will feel that the state is interfering too much in my personal business. Threat to minority culture. Now whenever we will think about having a uniform civil code, we will obviously look at incorporating the customs and rituals or the laws of the majority community, and it will be enforced on everyone. So maybe there is a huge possibility that minority culture will be threatened. Our country is known for its diversity. Even the framers of our constitution, what they have done is they have made provisions for minorities, they have made provisions for the tribals. So the constitution framers themselves, they had left a lot of space for the minority culture to thrive, so that no individual in the country would lose his or her own culture. Like article number 29, right, gives every person, every citizen a right to preserve and protect their own script, language and culture, है ना. So if a uniform law is enforced upon everyone in their personal matters, it will somewhere threaten the minority communities and their culture. Now let us look at the administrative difficulties. Now there are a lot of practical difficulties like we already discussed. Will people accept it? What laws will be enforced? What uniform civil code will be made? Now this is a very sensitive and difficult task. Just look for yourself. You are, say for example, belonging, take my example. I am a person belonging to the Hindu community. Will I be happy accepting the customs in terms of marriage, divorce, custody, maintenance of some other community or something that I am not fabby with, and that is a uniform? So that is very sensitive matter and it's a difficult time also. Also right now when we are seeing a lot of cow vigilantism, saffronization of school, ban on cow meat, and these issues they are causing so much distress in the society. We have seen mob lynching incidences as well when it comes to these things. So somewhere it is debated that the time is not yet ripe for such implementation. And as we discussed in the beginning of the lecture, what are DPSPs? They are the guidelines, they are the guiding lights from the framers of the constitution to the government, that whenever the socio-economic conditions are ripe, you are supposed to enact these principles into law. But somewhere we feel that the time is not yet suitable. ठीक है, अब देखते हैं political. We just discussed that there is a political angle to this as well. Now article number 25 gives a person internal freedom to follow any religion, right, to profess it, to practice it. Now if this is coming into picture, then the article number 25 which allows me freedom of conscience of religion, कि भाई मुझे आज़ादी है कि मैं जिस भी रिलीजन में या कस्टम्स में मानना चाहती हूँ मैं मान सकती हूँ, समवेयर दिस इज इन्फ्रिंज्ड. ऑल्सो आर्टिकल नंबर 26 जो रिलीजियस इंस्टीट्यूशंस को मैनेज करने का फ्रीडम देता है हर एक रिलीजियस डिनोमिनेशन को, वहाँ पे भी ये राइट्स इन्फ्रिंज होंगे. सो DPSP में जो आर्टिकल नंबर 44 है यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, उसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन से कहीं ना कहीं आर्टिकल 25 एंड 26 जो है वो इन्फ्रिंज हो रहे हैं, वायोलेट हो रहे हैं. स्टेट जो है वो मेरे और गॉड के रिलेशनशिप के बीच में आ रहा है. सेक्युलरिज्म का मतलब ये होता है दैट द स्टेट इज़ नॉट सपोज टू इंटरफियर बिटवीन द relationship of man and God. But यहाँ पे if I'm supposed to follow certain laws, ordinary laws, even for my personal matters like marriage, which is known as the holy union, and divorce, maintenance, custody, adoption and all these things, so somewhere the rights given to me by the constitution are violated by the state. Sorry guys, आ गई बात समझ में? So these are your arguments wherein you will say that no, it is not feasible, है ना, कि अभी टाइम नहीं है यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड लाने का. अब अगर आपने ला भी दिया एक यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड तो उसके क्या चैलेंजेस रहेंगे, है ना, क्या चैलेंजेस रहेंगे. सबसे पहले कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बात करते हैं. हमने अभी बात करी, ये हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट्स को इन्फ्रिंज करेगा. तो ये जो यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड है मे बी इट विल बी डिक्लेयर्ड एज अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अगर उसको सावधानी से विथ लॉट ऑफ केयर, इंक्लूजन एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड डिलिब्रेशन के बाद इसको इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं करा गया तो. ऑल्सो वी हैव लॉट ऑफ डाइवर्स पर्सनल लॉज एंड पीपल will resist its implementation. Now socio-religious issues. We were talking about achieving absolute equality or some level of equality between men and women. And as we know, our Indian society is basically a patriarchal society. What is a patriarchal society? जहाँ पे male domination होता है. Like मेरे नाम के पीछे मेरे father का या मेरा husband का name रहेगा. Once I get married, I move to my husband's place. Somewhere our socio-religious पूरा जो structure है, it is patriarchal. So giving equal rights to women will be a sort of a challenge as of now. Lot of religious groups will oppose this, that no, we don't want to follow this. और communalization भी हो सकता है. Political क्या है? Lack of political interest. जैसे हमने डिस्कस करा फर्स्ट स्लाइड में, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ या जो लीडर्स होते हैं और अ पर्सन हु इज कंटेस्टिंग द इलेक्शन, उनके वोट बैंक्स होते हैं. दे टेल द कम्युनिटीज़ कि हम आपके लिए ये कर देंगे, ये कर देंगे, ये कर देंगे, एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट डिवाइड दे विन द इलेक्शंस. सो पॉलिटिकल इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है कि यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड अभी इम्प्लीमेंट करा जाए. इसके बाद हम देखते हैं कि lack of opposition. Now what happens in a country is that we have a multi-party system, जहाँ पे बहुत सारी पार्टीज़ है जो अलग अलग जगह से इलेक्शन कंटेस्ट करती है और पार्लियामेंट में बैठती है. सो व्हाट हैपन्स इज, अगर रूलिंग पार्टी ने इंटरेस्ट भी दिखाया, then the opposition party or the other parties will oppose this, and this somewhere will not take the form of a law. So इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए अभी बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस हमारे सामने खड़े हैं, एंड वी विल हैव टू लुक एट एवरीथिंग ऑब्जेक्टिवली बिफोर टेकिंग दिस ह्यूज स्टेप, बिकॉज हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द पर्सनल लॉज दैट अफेक्ट 140 मिलियन पीपल, 140 करोड़ लोग हैं. उनकी लाइफ का मैरिज, डिवोर्स, अडॉप्शन, कस्टडी एट्सेट्रा पर्सनल चीज़ें कैसे चलेगी, उसको हम रेगुलेट करने, यूनिफॉर्म करने की बात कर रहे हैं, विच इज़ अ ह्यूज थिंग. सो कैसे इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करा जाए? अगर आपको एग्जामिनर ने वे फॉरवर्ड पूछ लिया है तो हाउ विल यू डू इट? लेट्स ड्रॉ अप अ स्लाइड. वे फॉरवर्ड हम कैसे डिसाइड करेंगे इसमें? सो वे फॉरवर्ड में वी विल डिस्कस द वे फॉरवर्ड ऑफ द केसेस गाइज. Okay, now let us look at the important cases that we have seen in terms of implementation of uniform civil code. तो सबसे पहले देखेंगे शाह बानो बेगम केस. 1985 में ये केस हुआ था. In this case there was an old lady, I think she was 72 years old, and she was divorced by her husband and she was denied maintenance. So in this case the Supreme Court had given the direction to the legislature to form a uniform civil code wherein Muslim women can also get maintenance just like the women of other religion. Then there was this Sarla Mudgal case versus the Union of India in 1995. Now this case was contested. The story or the storyline goes like that, whether a Hindu person after converting to Islam has the right of bigamy or polygamy. मतलब अगर एक हिंदू इंसान है वो कन्वर्ट हो जाता है कल इस्लाम में, तो क्या वो एक से ज़्यादा शादी कर सकता है? In Hindu law it is prohibited, you can have only one wife, but Shariat law के हिसाब से one man can have up to 4 wives and it is absolutely legal. So this case was this was the entire case, and यहाँ पे भी there was a direction given to bring about a uniform civil code. Now let us look at the Daniel Latifi case versus the Union of India. Now in this case there is a iddat period. Once a Muslim man divorces his wife, then he is supposed to provide maintenance just for the iddat period. Now iddat period usually is up to 3 menstrual cycles or 3 lunar months. So should a woman just get maintenance for 3 months only? What is she going to do for the rest of her life? So from this case the maintenance was not restricted to just the iddat period but to rest of her life. The period was extended beyond the iddat period. And this one, the latest case, the Shaira Banu case, in which talaq-e-biddat, that is we call it triple talaq, was declared unconstitutional. It was said that the Quran also condemns this form of talaq, and by doing this the judiciary or the state is not interfering with any personal laws, but in fact it is putting equality, the fundamental right provided to everyone in the country, and human rights ahead of a religious practice which is condemned by its own religion. So अब समझ में आ रहा है, यहाँ पे किसी को मेंटेनेंस नहीं मिल रहा, यहाँ पे एक बंदा एक रिलीजन से दूसरे रिलीजन में कन्वर्ट करके wants to have multiple wives because पर्सनल लॉज अलग है. तो क्या ये परमिट होना चाहिए? यहाँ पे अगर दूसरे रिलीजन की औरतों को मिल रहा है मेंटेनेंस, then why should the Muslim women just receive it for the iddat period? And here the triple talaq thing, एक इंसान है वो अपनी बीवी को गुस्से में या सोच समझ के 3 बार अगर तलाक 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 बोल रहा है, then they will get divorced, but the woman does not have the same right. So here in Shaira Bano case, triple talaq itself was considered unconstitutional. So these are the cases, ये देख के हमको लगता है कि नहीं, there should be one uniform civil code which is applicable for the entire country. Now guys, there is one state in our country which follows, है ना, which has this, एक मिनट ऑन कर लेते हैं फिर डिस्कस करते हैं. There is one state in the country which has enforced uniform civil code कौन सा है? गोवा. गोवा इज़ अ वेरी गुड एग्जाम्पल ऑफ द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड. वहाँ पे देर आर नो पर्सनल लॉज. There is one common law for everyone and everyone abides by that law. Now a piecemeal approach, let us just look at this. What does a piecemeal approach mean? A piecemeal approach means that सारे लॉज चेंज करके एकदम धाड़ से एक यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, एक नया लॉ नहीं डालना है, बट स्टेप बाय स्टेप, धीरे धीरे करके we have to make it happen. Okay, we will need major sensitization efforts. It means that we will have to engage with deliberations and discussions with all the religious people, and we will have to sensitize them about the need of uniform civil code. Institution overhaul. Right now the institutions we have already in our country are quite orthodox and they are rigid and not willing to change. So first of all we will have to have certain institutional changes in our country. Plural harmony. What do you mean by plural harmony? It means that we will have to involve stakeholders from different religions, and we will have to ensure that they are all happy with the new uniform civil code that is made, and it should not be enforced on people forcibly, but it should be a result of everyone's involvement and deliberations. Now there is one committee, Desai committee. Okay, Uttarakhand, the state of Uttarakhand has formed this Desai committee to look into the matter of enforcing uniform civil code and give its report to the state, that what are the impediments, what are the challenges, and how can we implement a uniform civil code, and more about that. Now our law commission has also made certain recommendations on the same. The law commission does not talk about enforcing a uniform civil code, but the law commission talks more about making it constitutional, and it also talks more about not enforcing it on someone with pressure. It talks about having a piecemeal approach. It talks about having some sort of legal approach to the same thing, and we will have to learn a lot in terms of implementation of this, because it is a very sensitive matter. Now the law commission recommends that we should brainstorm about it a lot, and we should come up with universal principles which does not infringe anyone's fundamental right or anyone's value system, but it incorporates suggestions from most of the communities. So guys, thank you very much for watching the lecture. Here is the contact number. You can reach us on this number if you have any doubts, if you have any queries. We have very good content made for mains, for prelims. We have excellent test series which provides very detailed and personalized evaluation. So guys, if you want to have these notes, then you should join our Telegram channel, and I would say thank you very much for listening the lecture. I will keep on coming up with more topics, and as Team Sunya, we will keep on coming up with a lot of topics to enhance your mains preparation. Thank you very much.